What if Rey wasn't just connected to the past? What if she was the past? Imagine this. Rey reaches out and touches the lightsaber in Maz Kanata's castle. The moment her fingers brush the cold metal, reality shatters around her. Suddenly, she isn't in the basement anymore. She's standing inside the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. She's 9 years old, but something is wrong, because she's not Rey. She's Anakin Skywalker, and she remembers everything, every battle, every victory, every mistake. She remembers the Clone Wars. She remembers the Jedi Council. She remembers Obi-Wan's voice guiding her. And then the memories turn darker. She remembers the night the Jedi Temple burned. She remembers the younglings looking up at her with trust in their eyes. Just before her blade ignited, she remembers Padmé's final breath. She remembers the lava on Mustafar tearing through her body, and she remembers the mask, the endless mechanical breathing. 20 years trapped inside the armor of Darth Vader. Rey screams and collapses on the cold stone floor of Maz Kanata's basement. Because these aren't visions, they're memories. She lived them. She was him. She was Darth Vader. And now she has to live with that truth. For weeks before this moment, something had already been wrong. Back on Jakku, Rey had been having terrible dreams. She would wake up shaking in the middle of the night, the metal walls of her shelter echoing with names she had never heard before. Padmé, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka. She saw flashes of a burning temple, children running in fear, a woman with brown hair reaching out as the life faded from her eyes, and always the fire, endless fire. But Rey didn't understand any of it, not until she touched the lightsaber. Not until the past came crashing back into her mind. Now she understands, and the weight of those memories might destroy her. When Finn suddenly crashes into her life, Rey almost feels relieved. Running from stormtroopers, escaping in the Millennium Falcon for a moment, the chaos helps push the nightmares away. She focuses on survival, helping this strange stormtrooper deserter, protecting BB-8, staying alive. But even during the escape, something feels strange. When Rey climbs into the Falcon's pilot seat for the first time, her hands move instinctively. She knows which switches to flip, which lever controls auxiliary power, exactly how to angle the ship for impossible maneuvers. She flies like someone who has done this for decades. Finn stares at her. How? Did you do that? Rey shakes her head. I don't know. I just knew. But deep down, a quiet voice whispers the truth. Part of her does know. Part of her remembers flying starfighters through asteroid fields and racing through impossible battles. Part of her remembers ships like this. When they crawl through the Falcon's maintenance tunnels to release the rafters, Rey casually points out problems in the hyperdrive modifications. Han Solo pauses and studies her. You know your way around ships? Rey shrugs. I've worked on them, scavenged parts. But even she knows that explanation doesn't quite fit. It feels different, like she understands the ship in a deeper way, like she's rebuilt something like this before. Han doesn't press further, but he notices. Then they arrive at Maz Kanata's castle, and everything changes. The moment Rey steps inside, she feels it, a pull, something deep beneath. The castle is calling to her. At first, she tries to ignore it. She focuses on the mission, getting BB-28 to the Resistance. But the pull grows stronger, until resisting it becomes impossible. Her feet carry her down the stairs, almost on their own, into the basement. Inside an old wooden chest sits a lightsaber. Ancient. Familiar. The moment her fingers touch it, the universe explodes. She is a child. In the Jedi Temple, she is sparring with Padawans. She is fighting in the Clone Wars. She is standing before the Jedi Council as they deny her the rank of Master. She is holding Padmé in her arms, and then the name crashes into her mind. Anakin Skywalker. The memories keep coming. Tatooine's burning sand, Obi-Wan's lessons, Ahsoka's laughter, Padmé's smile, and then the fear, the terrible fear of losing everyone she loves. The fear that drove her straight into the hands of Palpatine. She remembers the promises, the manipulation. The moment she said yes, she remembers marching into the Jedi Temple. She remembers the younglings, their fear, their screams. She remembers. Mustafar. The fire, the pain, and then the mask, the armor, the darkness. Years spent hunting Jedi, serving the Emperor, becoming the monster the galaxy feared, until finally Luke. Redemption and death. And now, somehow, she's here again, alive, in a new body, with every memory of Anakin Skywalker burning inside her mind. Rey collapses, shaking and crying. These aren't visions, these are her memories. She remembers. Being him, every terrible choice, every innocent life lost. Maz Kanata finds her on the floor. The ancient being studies her carefully, and for the first time in centuries, Maz looks truly shocked. "What did you see, child?" Rey's voice trembles. Everything. Tears stream down her face. "I remember it all. I was him. I was Anakin Skywalker. I was Darth Vader." Maz listens quietly as Rey confesses the horrors she remembers. When the story ends, the old pirate takes a slow breath. "In all my 1,000 years," Maz says softly, "I have never seen something like this. A soul given another life, a second chance." Rey shakes her head. "I don't want this. I can feel his anger, his fear, his darkness inside me." Maz gently replies, "Then choose differently. You carry his past, but your future is still yours." Rey wishes it were that simple, because Anakin's instincts are still there. His anger, his power, his temptation, and she knows exactly how easy it is to fall to the dark side. So she hides the truth from Finn and Han. How could she ever explain it? How do you tell someone you might be the reincarnation of the galaxy's greatest monster? But someone else discovers the truth. When Kylo Ren invades her mind, searching for the map to Luke Skywalker, he suddenly recoils in shock, because what he finds inside her mind isn't just Rey. It's Anakin, a storm of memories. The Jedi Temple, the Clone Wars. Darth Vader. Kylo's voice trembles. "This is impossible." Then he whispers a single word, "Grandfather." 4. A moment, the mask hides a broken child, a man who spent his entire life worshipping the legend of Darth Vader, and now that legend is standing in front of him, reborn. And that might be the most terrifying part of all, because Kylo Ren doesn't see Rey as someone trying to escape the past. He sees her as the return of Darth Vader, the one who will finish what Vader started. But Rey knows the truth. She already lived that life once. She already became the monster, and this time she's determined to choose a different path. Rey escapes using the Force, but it's Anakin's technique that guides her. She doesn't fumble or struggle like an untrained scavenger discovering her power. She reaches out with the confidence of a master, her commands sharp and certain. The stormtrooper's mind bends to her will easily, too easily. When she duels Kylo in the snow outside the Starkiller base, she starts with raw desperation, swinging wildly as he toys with her. But as the fight continues and her back hits a chasm's edge, something shifts. Decades of experience take over. Her stance changes, feet positioning themselves in the opening stance of Form 5. Shihan, the aggressive style Anakin favored. Her strikes become more precise, more economical. She stops wasting energy on wild swings and starts targeting weak points in his defense. She even catches herself about to use one of Vader's signature moves, a spinning slash that flows into a force choke before she pulls back, horrified at what she was about to do. She defeats Kylo, but the victory feels hollow and wrong. She won. Using his power, Anakin's power, the power of a man who became a monster, she can still feel the dark side singing in her veins, urging her to finish him. It would be so easy. One thrust and Kylo Ren dies. One fewer enemy in the galaxy. But she doesn't. She pulls back, resisting the urge, and that small victory feels more important than the duel itself. When she arrives at Ahch-To to find Luke Skywalker, she's exhausted and terrified and desperate for guidance. She climbs the ancient steps cut into the island's stone, her legs burning with each step, hood up to hide her face. She tries to look small and unthreatening as she approaches the legendary Jedi Master standing at the summit. She extends the lightsaber to him, her father's lightsaber, and waits for him to take it. Luke stares at the weapon, his hand trembling. As he reaches for it, his fingers are inches away when he suddenly stops. His eyes snap to her face, and Rey watches his expression shift from grief to confusion to dawning horror. He doesn't take the saber. Instead, he steps back like she's something dangerous. "Who are you, Rey?" "I'm Rey. From Jakku sent me. I'm here to bring you back. The Resistance needs you and I need training, and there's so much I need to tell you." "No." Luke's voice is sharp. "Who are you really? Your presence in the Force." His face goes deathly pale. It's impossible. I felt him die. I felt my father become one with the Force on the Death Star. He's gone. He should be gone. Rey feels tears prick her eyes. She knows what he's sensing. The same thing Kylo sensed. The same thing Maz recognized. The ghost of Anakin Skywalker wrapped around her soul like a second skin. "I'm Rey, but I remember being him, your father. I remember everything, Luke. Everything he did. Everything he thought. Everything he felt. I remember you. I remember holding you as a baby before I fell. I remember hunting you across the galaxy. I remember our duel on the Death Star. I remember you refusing to kill me. I remember you believing I could still be saved when I'd given up on myself." The lightsaber falls from her trembling hand and rolls down the steps with a metallic clatter. Luke doesn't speak for a long time. He studies her face, searching for something. His own face cycling through emotions too complex to name. Then he asks questions. Rapid-fire interrogation that feels almost cruel. "What did I say to you on Endor before you died? What was my mother's name, and how did she die? Where did Obi-Wan first find you? What was the name of the Tusken Raider camp you destroyed? What were Padmé's last words?" Rey answers every question. Some she has to dig for, the memories still, settling into place in her mind like sediment after a storm, but she knows the answers. All of them, even the ones she wishes she didn't, even the shameful ones, even the painful ones. Luke's eyes fill with tears. "Father," the word breaks on his lips, "I felt you die. I felt you return to the light and become one with the Force. How is this possible? How can you be here?" "I don't know. I've been Rey my whole life. I didn't know I was anyone else until I touched the lightsaber in Maz's castle. Then everything came flooding back like a dam breaking. All of it, the good and the terrible, and everything in between. Luke, I remember what I did. I remember the younglings' faces as my blade fell. I remember feeling Alderaan die through the Force, billions of voices crying out, and then silence. I remember choking Padmé, watching her collapse, killing the woman I loved more than anything, because I was too angry and too scared to think straight. I remember all of it, and I don't know how to live with this. I don't know how to be Rey when I have Anakin's memories screaming in my head. You're not him." Luke's voice is firm. "You're you. Those were his choices, not yours. You're a different person, but they feel like my choices. I have his memories, his instincts. His anger is my anger now. His fear is my fear. His capacity for darkness lives inside me. Luke, I can feel the dark side calling to me every moment. I understand now why he fell. I can feel how easy it would be to fall again. The fear that everyone I love will die. The desire to control everything to keep them safe. The rage when things don't go the way I want. It's all there, waiting. That's why I'm going to train you." Luke's voice softens. "Because you're right. You're vulnerable in ways I never understood before. You have all his power, but also all his weaknesses. But you're also my father, given a second chance, and I won't waste it. I won't let you fall like he did. Promise me something. Don't give up on me, even when I stumble, even when the darkness gets too loud. Don't give up. I won't. I didn't give up on him, and I won't give up on you. But Rey, this won't be easy. I'm going to push you harder than I've ever pushed anyone, because the stakes are too high to do anything less. The training begins immediately, and it's brutal from the first moment. Luke is harsh in a way he never was with his other students, pushing her harder than seems fair or reasonable. But Rey doesn't complain because she knows what she's capable of. What Anakin was capable of. When she lights the training saber for the first time, her form is perfect. Not the rough movements of a scavenger who learned to fight with a staff, but the refined technique of a master who trained for decades. She moves through the combat forms with practiced ease. Form 5, Xi'an, and Gem. So, the aggressive styles Anakin favored. Form 4, Ataru, with its acrobatic leaps, even traces of form to Makashi. The elegant dueling form she learned from Dooku before she killed him. Luke watches her move, and she can see the pain on his face. You fight exactly like him. Every movement, every stance. It's like watching a ghost. Should I fight differently? I don't know if I can. His muscle memory is my muscle memory now. I don't know where he ends, and I begin. That's the problem. You need to find your own path, not his, not mine, yours. You need to figure out who Rey is separate from Anakin Skywalker. But finding her own path is harder than it sounds. Anakin's presence is overwhelming. His tactical mind, analyzing every situation, his force sensitivity, allowing her to sense things she never could before. His raw power waiting to be tapped. It's all there, a vast well of knowledge and ability. And the temptation to simply let his experience take over, to stop struggling and just be Anakin Skywalker again, is constant and seductive. During meditation sessions, Rey finds herself arguing with Anakin's memories. They're not separate enough to be true conversations, but there's a part of her that still thinks like him, that wants what he wanted, that fears what he feared. That part whispers to her constantly, use the power, don't hold back. These people need you to be strong. You can't protect them if you're weak. You know what happens when you're not strong enough? Padmé, your mother dies, everyone dies. Be strong, be decisive, take control. And part of her agrees. Part of her remembers the helplessness of watching people she loved suffer while she was powerless to help. Part of her remembers the strength the dark side offered, the certainty, the power, the ability to impose her will on an uncaring universe. One evening, after a particularly brutal training session, Luke finds her meditating on the cliff's edge where the island drops away into churning ocean. The sun is setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and red that remind her of fire. You're afraid? His voice is gentle, always, but not of the dark side. You're afraid of me, of what I might become, of whether you'll have to kill me like the Emperor wanted you to kill your father. Luke sits beside her, his own gaze on the horizon. When I learned Vader was my father, I was horrified. The man who cut off my hand, who tortured my friends, who served the Empire. But I was also separate from him. His choices were his own. His fall was his journey. I could choose to forgive him without carrying his guilt. You don't have that distance. You remember being him. You carry his guilt like it's your own because to you, it is your own. That's a burden I can't even imagine. I see their faces every time I close my eyes. The younglings, Master Plo Koon, Master Kiadabundi. All the Jedi who died because of Order 66, because of me. I remember what I was thinking when I killed the younglings. I was thinking I was saving Padmé. That if I just did what Palpatine wanted, if I just proved my loyalty completely, he would teach me to save her from death. I was doing it for love. But all I did was lose everything. I destroyed the person I was trying to save. How do I know? I won't make the same choices. How do I know that? When I'm scared and desperate. Their training continues for weeks, and Rey slowly begins to integrate both identities into something new. She develops her own fighting style, a hybrid of Anakin's aggressive form, 5 and something uniquely hers, more fluid and adaptable. Learns to draw on his experience without being consumed by it, to use his knowledge as a tool rather than letting it define her. She practices making different choices in simulations, facing scenarios Anakin faced and choosing differently. When Luke recreates the moment Palpatine offered power to save Padmé, Rey refuses. When he recreates the march on the temple, Rey turns away. Each time she makes a different choice, she feels a little more like herself and a little less like Anakin's ghost. But peace doesn't last long on this isolated island. One morning, Rey is working through a training kata when she gasps and clutches her head. Through the Force bond she didn't know existed until now, she feels Kylo Ren. His presence slams into her mind like a battering ram, and he knows everything. He's had time to process the revelation, to understand what it means. His presence in her mind is a mixture of awe and hunger and desperate need. Real. I felt you in my dreams. I've been reaching out through our bond, and I found you. I found your memories. You've come back to me. Stop calling me that. I'm not your grandfather. I'm Rey. You are Anakin Skywalker, reborn. You are Darth Vader, returned. Don't deny what you are. I've seen your memories. I've felt your power. I know what you're capable of. The galaxy needs that strength again. I need it. Together, we can finish what you started. Together, we can bring order from chaos. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not becoming Vader again. You don't understand. The Jedi failed us both. They feared our power. They tried to control us. You remember this. You remember their arrogance, their blindness. Join me. Help me destroy them once and for all. The bond breaks abruptly, and Rey staggers, gasping. Luke is beside her immediately.
What happened?
He knows Kylo knows what I am, and he's obsessed. He worshipped Vader his entire life, and now he thinks Vader has returned for him. Luke, he's not going to let this go. Of course he won't. Ben was always fixated on my father. He saw Vader as what he should have been. Strong, decisive, unafraid. He never understood the cost. Never understood the pain and emptiness that came with that power. We need to prepare. If Ben knows, the First Order will know soon. And they'll use it, they'll come for you. They don't have time to prepare because the next day, a First Order fleet appears in Octu's sky like a swarm of metal insects blotting out the sun. Shuttles descend through the atmosphere, their engines screaming, and First Order troops storm the island with military precision. Stormtroopers in white armor swarm over the ancient Jedi Temple structures, while officers bark orders and heavy weapons emplacements are set up on the high ground. The caretakers, the native amphibious creatures who maintain the island, flee to their underground grotto. Luke and Rey stand ready, lightsabers ignited. Luke's green blade and Rey's blew one casting-colored light across their determined faces. The troops form a perimeter, but don't attack. They're waiting, then Kylo Ren arrives. His shuttle lands. With a hydraulic hiss, and the ramp descends. He walks down it slowly, deliberately, his Knights of Ren flanking him like dark shadows. But something is different. His mask is gone. His face is bare, and she can see tears streaming down his cheeks. He dismisses his soldiers with a sharp gesture. They fall back immediately, creating a wide circle around the three Force users. This is between them. Kylo stares at Rey, and his expression is one of desperate longing mixed with barely contained rage. You're real. All this time, I thought you were gone, lost, but you came back. You came back, and you didn't even try to find me. I didn't come back. For you, Ben, I didn't come back at all. This just happened, and I'm not Darth Vader anymore. I'm trying to be better than he was. No, his voice cracks. You don't understand. You saw the truth. The Jedi failed us. They failed you, they failed me. You remember their hypocrisy, their fear of emotion, their arrogance in thinking they alone understood the Force. You know this, grandfather? You lived it. Together, we can finish what you started. We can tear down the false Jedi Order and build something new. We can bring order to the chaos. Don't you see? This is destiny. You returned because the galaxy needs you, needs us. I remember starting that path, and I remember where it led, to ashes and regret. To everyone I loved, dead or broken, to becoming a slave to Palpatine for decades, to watching the galaxy suffer under the Empire's tyranny. Don't make the same mistakes I did, Ben. You don't get to lecture me. Kylo's voice rises. You don't get to pretend you're better now just because you're wearing a different face. You are Darth Vader. You are my grandfather, and you will help me finish what you started. Never. I lived that life once. I won't live it again. His face twists with rage, and he attacks without warning. The duel is immediately brutal. Kylo fights with passion and anger, exactly like Anakin once did. His strikes powerful but undisciplined, and Rey counters with refined technique, using decades of experience to predict his moves before he makes them. Their lightsabers crash together, sending sparks flying into the misty air. The sound of plasma on plasma echoes across the island. You can't deny what you are. Kylo presses forward, his attacks relentless. I feel the darkness in you. I see Vader in every movement. I remember being you. I remember killing your father, Han Solo. I remember him falling into that pit, and I remember the regret that followed. The emptiness. Is that really what you want? To repeat my mistakes? To become the monster I became? I don't care about your mistakes. I care about your strength. You were the chosen one. You brought balance to the Force. You killed the Emperor, yes, and it cost me everything. My wife, my children, my body, my soul. I spent 20 years as a slave to Palpatine's will. 20 years doing things that still make me sick to remember. Is that what you want, Ben? To be a slave, pretending to be powerful? He hesitates for just a moment, doubt flickering across his face, and Rey seizes the opening. She disarms him with a precise strike that sends his lightsaber flying through the air. It lands meters away, smoking in the wet grass. Then she does something Anakin never would have done, something Vader never could have done. She deactivates her own weapon. I'm not going to fight you, Ben. I've already lived a life of violence and anger. I've already walked the path you're on. And I'm telling you, it leads nowhere good. I won't do it again. I won't become that person again. Kylo stares at her in shock. His hand trembles as he reaches out through the Force and pulls his weapon back to his hand. He ignites it, and the unstable blade crackles with barely contained energy. Then you're a fool. The Kylo Ren I was is dead. There is only the darkness. Now, but before he can strike, Luke intervenes. His blade catches Kylo's inches from Rey's head. The impact sends a shockwave rippling outward. Run, Rey. Get back to the Falcon and get out of here. I'll hold him. No, I won't abandon you like I abandoned everyone else. Like I abandoned Obi-Wan on Mustafar. Like I abandoned Ahsoka. Like I abandoned everyone who tried to save me. This isn't abandonment. Luke grunts as he pushes Kylo's blade aside. This is trust. Trust that you'll make better choices than he did. Trust that you'll do what needs to be done. Now go. The force of his command is undeniable. Rey runs behind her. She hears the clash of lightsabers. As Luke and Kylo duel, she can feel their battle through the Force, their power colliding again and again. She reaches the clearing where the Millennium Falcon is hidden and fires up the engines. The ship lifts off just as explosions rock the island behind her. But guilt tears at her heart. She left Luke, just like Anakin left Obi-Wan to burn on Mustafar. The parallel is too close, too painful. She tells herself it's different this time, that Luke told her to go, that she's not running from responsibility but following orders. But the voice in her head that sounds like Anakin whispers that she's a coward, that she's abandoning the people who need her, that she'll always be alone because she's too afraid to stay and fight. The voice is cruel and cutting and sounds exactly like Palpatine's manipulation. She forces herself to ignore it as she jumps to hyperspace. The girl has dreams too, visions of the past. Rey teaches her that the Force connects all things, past and present, and that seeing the past doesn't mean you're doomed to repeat it. Her second student is a former stormtrooper who deserted after discovering he could sense when his squad mates were about to die. Rey teaches him that his empathy is a gift, not a curse. That feeling others' pain doesn't make you weak. It makes you compassionate. Slowly, carefully, she's creating something new. Not quite the old Jedi Order with its rigid rules. Not quite something else entirely. A middle path that honors the past while learning from its mistakes. A way of using the Force that acknowledges both light and dark. That accepts human emotion as natural and necessary. That teaches wisdom through balance rather than through suppression. She names it simply the path of balance. Months pass and the galaxy slowly heals. The New Republic stabilizes under new leadership that learned from the failures of the old. Resistance heroes are celebrated in parades and ceremonies. War memorials are built. Peace treaties are signed. And Rey finds herself with time to think, to process everything that's happened, to figure out who she really is now that the immediate threats are gone. One day, she stands on Tatooine under that familiar, harsh sun. She's come to bury Luke and Leia's lightsabers in the sand near the Lars homestead where it all began, where Anakin was born a slave, where Shmi died, where Luke grew up dreaming of adventure. The circle completing after all these years. An old woman approaches as Rey finishes burying the sabers, marking the spot with stones. "Who are you, Rey?" Pauses. It's the same question Luke asked her what feels like a lifetime ago. The same question she's been asking herself since she remembered being Anakin. She thinks about that question for a long moment, about identity and legacy and choice, about whether we're defined by our past or our actions, about whether someone can truly change or if we're doomed to repeat our mistakes, about what it means to carry someone else's memories while still being yourself, and she realizes she finally has an answer. I'm Rey Skywalker. Not because she's claiming a name that isn't hers, not because she's trying to erase her past or pretend to be someone she's not, but because she's honoring the journey, both Anakin's journey from darkness to light and her own journey from nobody to somebody who matters. Two souls, two lives converging into one path forward. One story of redemption that spans generations. The woman nods and walks away. Rey stands alone in the binary sunset, two suns hanging low in the sky just like they did when Anakin was a child, and she feels at peace. Two figures appear beside her, Force ghosts shimmering in the fading light. Luke and Leia smiling, and beside them, finally at peace, Anakin Skywalker. Not as Vader in his black armor, not as the broken man on Endor, but as the hero he could have been, as the person he was before he fell. He smiles at Rey and speaks. "Thank you for what? For giving me the chance to make different choices, for proving that even someone like me could be redeemed, for showing that the chosen one wasn't about one moment or one person. It was about the choice to keep choosing the light. You redeemed yourself on Endor, but this wasn't for you. This was for me." Anakin shakes his head gently. "This is your life now, not mine. You carry my memories, but you're not me. You're better, stronger, wiser. You learned from my mistakes, without having to make them yourself. That's the gift the Force gave you. Live it well. Make the choices I couldn't. Love without fear, fight without hate, and never ever give up on the possibility that people can change. I will, I promise." The ghosts begin to fade. As they do, Anakin speaks one last time. "The Force is with you, Rey, always." Then they're gone. Rey stands alone on Tatooine, the same planet where Anakin Skywalker's story began so long ago. But this isn't an ending. It's a beginning. She's no longer haunted by the past, no longer terrified of becoming Vader, no longer torn between two identities. She's Rey, she's herself, and she's free. She turns away from the homestead and walks toward her ship, toward the future, toward whatever comes next. The binary suns set behind her, casting long shadows across the sand. But ahead, the stars are beginning to shine. The Force is balanced, the Sith are destroyed, and Rey Skywalker walks into her future, finally at peace with her past, ready to create something new, something better, something that honors both the light and the lessons learned from darkness. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you want to join us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.